Hey, Canucks fans, and happy Canada Day. Canucks fans, we woke up to some good news this morning, some not unexpected news, inevitable news, predictable news, whatever you want to say. But the Canucks have agreed to multi-year extensions with both goaltender Thatcher Demko and forward Conor Garland. Now, July 1st, Canada Day, the first day of free agency. That means any UFAs can sign with any team. But it also means that anyone that is entering their last year of their contract is eligible to sign an extension. So we had heard of these possible extensions. We actually heard about the Conor Garland one about a week ago. Then Thatcher Demko was about 3 or 4 days ago. But of course, nothing could be made official until today, July the 1st. So let's talk about Thatcher Demko first. He signs a 3-year extension worth $8.5 million a season. That is a total of $25.5 million. Now, he was drafted by the Vancouver Canucks way back in 2014 in the second round, kind of like our goalie this year. So second round, 36 overall, and he's been with our team ever since. Remember, he kind of was coming up slowly, and then that bubble year, he actually took over from Jacob Markstrom in the bubble playoffs when Markstrom kind of got hurt. And then that was the 27 games here, and then 13 games 27 games here. And then just looking at his playoff record here, playoff score, and then 4 games in the playoffs there. And then the next season was still splitting time. It was only 35 games. And then he's become our starter ever since, even though he hasn't had full seasons. And I guess that's always the trick with Thatcher Demko. We weren't sure if we were going to sign him to a multi-year extension because of his injury history. We weren't sure if we were going to sign him to a multi-year extension because we have signed Kevin Lankinen to a 5-year contract. We did that earlier this season as well. But you can never have too much strength in goal. And it's not even, is it a lot of money? Maybe this season it's not, because Lankinen is making 4 or 5, and Thatcher Demko is making $5 million in the last year of his contract, his old contract. So $9.5 million for a solid goaltending. I'll take that. Then 8.5 for the next 3 years. It sounded like a lot, but I guess that's what, and I'll show you in a second, that's what premium goaltenders are going for. So with the salary cap going up, I don't worry about it too much. It is $13 million in net between Demko and Lankinen starting next season for 3 years. But again, I have no problem with it, given what Demko can be when he's at the top of his game. And what can Demko be at the top of his game? A big, athletic, fundamentally sound, determined goaltender. Good in the room, good in the community, but more importantly on the ice when it counts. He can make the big save. Now, we can't just gloss over his injury history. Even last year, I think he had 4 different injuries alone. He had this weird knee one in the playoffs 2 seasons ago where no one knew what it was. It was the first time I think it was documented that a hockey player had his kind of injury. But from all accounts, he is trained really well. He is healthy. He's determined. And the fact that the Canucks were willing to go 3 years with him, not 1, not 2, but 3. I would like longer, but 3 is fine. Then I think they're confident that he is indeed fully healthy. And yeah, he only played 23 games last season, played 51 the year before. So that's good. That's a full starter's workload. Unfortunately, got hurt in the first game of the playoffs 2 years ago. And then before that, only 32. And then before that, 64. So he's kind of gone full load, injured, full load, injured. So that means this year should be a full load year, but we will see. I talked about his contract, $8.5 million. So remember, this doesn't kick in until next season. That would put him with Connor Hellebuyck. Now, Hellebuyck is a Vezina winner, is a Hart Trophy winner. So you might say, well, Hellebuyck's a bit better than Demko. Sure, but Hellebuyck also signed his contract a little while ago. So Shesterkin at 11.5, Carey Price. How come he's still on there? 10.5. Bobrovsky, 10 million. Vasilevsky 9.5, and then Demko's at 8.5. No surprise, because I always kind of compare Demko to Swayman and Ottinger, not just because they're U.S. goalies, but they're about the same pedigree. Demko's a little older at 29, whereas Swayman and Ottinger are 25 and 26. But if they're making 8.25 and Demko's making 8.5, not only is that very comparable, it's only $250,000 difference, but it also means probably that maybe that was part of the negotiation that Demko said, I want to be paid more than Swayman and Ottinger. So instead of giving them $8,251,000, they gave him $8.5 million. So there we go. Thatcher Demko signed for 3 more years after the season, $8.5 million a season. And then, of course, there's Conor Garland, the one that we did not, actually, both of them weren't unexpected, but this is the one we heard about even more. And Conor Garland gets 6 years times 6. Now, compared to his current contract of 5 years times 4.95, it might seem like a lot, and it's a raise, but it's not a huge raise, 20% raise, right? $1 million on the $5 million. But percentage of cap, as the cap continues to go up, it's actually going to be a smaller percentage of the salary cap than it is right now. So if you look at it in that terms, I'm fine with this. I really am. And is he a first line player? Probably not. $6 million though puts you at, you're kind of like half first line, half second line. So he's definitely going to need to perform and produce as a second liner. I think he's great as a third liner when he's with Dakota Joshua and Bluger or Suter, which he has over the past couple of years, especially 2 years ago. But he is a play driver, not the biggest finisher, got a good motor. Always, and I've always said he looks busy though. Sometimes it doesn't always result in something, and sometimes it does. But I think they like his leadership, they like his determination, they like his work ethic, and I think this is a really, really good signing. Now remember, he came over from in that big trade with OEL a few summers ago as Jim Benning made his last hurrah. He's a 5th round draft pick, so this is a nice story of a 5th round draft pick turning out well. And yes, only being with two franchises, Arizona for 3 seasons, and then Vancouver for the past 4 seasons. And his point totals are pretty good. He's a 50-point guy. He had 52, 46, 47, and 50. So that's a 50-point guy. So that's second line production. And you got to love his consistency. We were just talking about how Thatcher Demko can't stay healthy. Look at Garland, 77, 81, 82, and 81. So he's only missed 6 games. He's only missed 6 games over the past 4 seasons combined. That's one thing I actually forgot about, just how durable he is. He's not afraid to get muck it up, like 52 penalty minutes. What a goon, huh? No, but so I love how durable he is. That's another word I'm going to start using for Conor Garland, is how durable he is. And at $6 million, again, not kicking in until next season, he will be, right now, he'll be our second highest paid forward, ahead of Jake DeBrusk, who's signed for 5.5, but of course behind Elias Pettersson. And then actually, he'd only be behind Hughes and Hronek and then Demko. So he'll be our 5th highest paid player on the team. So again, I like the signing. I think it's going to look really good as his contract doesn't expire till the 2031-2032 season. So Canucks fans, again, these weren't surprising announcements, but it's nice to have them official. What do you think of these contracts? Conor Garland, 3 times 8.5. Sorry, Conor Garland, 6 times 6. Thatcher Demko, 3 times 8.5. Both of these contracts kicking in at the end of this upcoming season. Throughout the day, I won't be doing any live streams or anything, but I will be doing quick reaction videos if the Canucks do anything. We will see. They got $7 million to play with, and I think they're still looking for a second line center. Shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Lou, weight loss coach, and Gassy Jack Art. Thank you to legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Line Change, legendary Brian Blingy Choi, and legendary Andrew Chang, and to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for your support. On your way out, like the video, subscribe, leave a donation, and most importantly, leave your comments, your thoughts now that these contract extensions are indeed official. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other, and have a great Canada Day. God bless, and go Canucks go.